our sacral authority, our sacral response. This is a really, really great practice that we're going to do to get today.
After college, I haven't really been in 9 to 5. I've done different small scale businesses, but my family seem to think that I should get a real job. And the pressure is getting to me now because right now I am doing something in the more holistic line, give massages and that's not something that yeah, he used to back here. It all sounds so very foreign to everybody I talk to about it. So I just want to know if I am on the right path.
I hear you. So are you a manifesting generator?
Mm-hmm.
And do you know if you have the gate 34 defined in your chart? It's on the sacral center, like over here. Yeah.
34, 20.
3420. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not surprised that you kind of want to do your own thing. And also, the 34 is also known as the busy gate. It's the gate of power, and it likes to multitask, likes to have multiple things going on at the same time. So I just want to say that to you so that you get that you may be designed differently than the way that your culture and the people who are talking to you from as the voice of culture, maybe trying to get you to fit yourself into a lifestyle that isn't really 100% right for you. Okay. So I just want to say that based on your type. Okay. So your question, what's your question? Do you have a specific question or something you want to make a decision about?
I just want to know if I'm on the right path so I can focus, because now I'm caught in between applying for 9 to 5 jobs and focusing on the business I'm trying to push.
These other interests that you have, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let me ask you some sacral questions. Okay. So, yeah. Let's see here. Have you been to the United States before? And do you like doing body work? Do you enjoy doing body work? And it sounds like doing body work is a little out of the norm where you are. Is that true? Okay. And is it right for you to get a 9 to 5 job? Is it in your highest interest? Yeah. And is it hard for you to know that and yet hear the people that you trust and you care about tell you that you should do that? Is that hard for you? Yeah. And does that make it feel like they don't really fully understand you? And would it be best for you to follow these interests that you have, like doing body work? Would that be the best path for you? Is it possible that if you follow your inner guidance, that you will find ways to generate the income that you need for the lifestyle you want to live? Is that possible? Even if you don't know what it is yet? Yeah, even if you don't know what it is yet, is it possible that you could do that? And are there any people in your environment, not necessarily people you're close to, but people in your environment who you see or have witnessed being able to follow their own inner interests and be able to create the income they need for the lifestyle style they want. Do you have any people in your life that you can see who've been able to do that? Not so much. Not so much. So then if you don't have models that are right around you, does that make you feel anxious to be like, oh, but I don't see anybody else doing this? Yeah, it can feel a little. And so is that anxiety something that is leading you away from you doing your own path and going towards, is that anxiety pointing you to you should get a job? And should you trust that anxiety? Yeah. Yeah. So there it is, right? There it is. It's like, here you are, you have this inner guidance that is, and these interests and these ways that you're being directed from inside. And you don't have a lot of models. You don't have any models, you said, in your environment of people who are doing what you want to do. And that creates anxiety for you, especially when other people are telling you, you really should do this job thing because that's what everybody else does. And you should really do that too. Right. And so is that kind of the pickle, the situation you find yourself in? And that's creating anxiety? Mm. And is it still in your highest interest for you to pursue what feels right to you on the inside? Would it make sense at all for you to have some kind of a job, even if it's not 9 to 5, but some kind of a job that gave you ready, steady income while you're also doing the other things? Is it possible that a hybrid would be good for you? So you're kind of in your mind right now. Can you see that? You're like thinking about it. We want to get you back in your body, Jess. Get back in your body.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So let's just see, is it in the realm of possibility that would be that could be a fit for you at some point without even knowing what that job is or anything? But would it be beneficial to you to have like a job that's maybe half-time or part-time? Would that be beneficial for you? Or is that really just going to make you unhappy? Yeah. So let me just ask you, so we're almost out of time. How's this landing for you? Is this helpful?
Yeah. So before we started, I was all up here in my head.
Yeah.
And while you were asking me the questions, I just felt like it released my stomach. And I think that's where my responses have been coming from. And like it went C, but at some point it was really calm. And I felt like release.
And do you know what stimulated that release?
I for a minute did feel anxious.
Could you feel a kind of rightness inside about you going with what feels like the impulse from inside? Did you feel that kind of drop in?
Yeah, so it was like a free flow of energy, like straight from the base upwards, like it was going straight to the throat.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have to close, but Jess, I just want to say, I totally feel you. Like it's not an easy thing when you don't have anybody around that you can see, that you can be like, well, they did that. Maybe they're doing it with something else, but still they did that. So one of the just kind of a coachy mentoring suggestion I would have would be to take a look and see if there are models, even if they're not close in, right? Even if they're farther afield for you, where you could be like, well, this person created this or this person. I mean, I don't know much about Nigeria, but I do sometimes get little windows, and it seems to me
Mhm.
there's some really entrepreneurial people in Nigeria, at least the things that I see. I'm like, wow, that's a really interesting business the person created out of this thing, And so
Yeah, yeah, there.
there are some, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. So even if they're doing something different than what you want to do, if you can look and see, like, there are other people who have created things without having to do the 9 to 5, that might be supportive for you. I really want to invite you who are here and who are watching the recording later, if this is of interest to you, that you come to our Sacral Skills Lab. It's happening in March. It's 3 Thursdays. It's the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st. This will be a limited period number because I want to be able to work consistently with people over the course of those 3 weeks. And basically, what this is about helping us to understand how the sacral works, about how you can get yourself into a state where you can know if you're working with your sacral. But there'll be lots of practice. It is a lab, right? So I will work one-on-one with people, just as you just saw. And it sounds like a lot of you are like, wow, I got a lot just from witnessing that. Everybody will get turns and then practice with each other. Because I think, as you can see, a lot of what makes this work is when you cultivate the art of asking questions. It's not just as simple as asking any old yes, no question, right? It's about being able to dive in to what is being revealed so that it can continue to reveal, right? So it's like diving in, things are revealed, we differentiate, we go, okay, it's not that, it's not that, oh, let's go this way. So that's what I'm doing as the questioner. And so it's important for you to get practice learning how to ask questions and not just being asked. Because then you can ask other people in your life, but also as you're developing more of your skill, you'll be able to ask yourself questions more. And so that's a big part of doing this as well, is being able to develop that art of asking questions. This is really designed to help you master your sacral response. So if what we do today is something that piques your interest and you're like, that's great, and I know I need more practice, because we kind of all do, right? Then that would be a great next step for you.